Let's say it's a word we use. Say whenever time you're down and out. I mean,
Before Bob Marley before reggae became a global anthem, there was one man whose voice carried the sound of Jamaica across oceans. His name was Desmond Dekker, the man who started it all. From the streets of Kingston to the top of the UK charts, Desmond Dekker's story is one of struggle, sound, and success. A journey that turned ska into soul and reggae into revolution. In the 1960s, Jamaica was changing. Music wasn't just entertainment, it was identity. Amid the chaos, a young man from St. Andrew Parish was writing songs that spoke to the real Jamaica. Desmond Dekker became the voice of the people, singing about love, hardship, and hope. His music was raw, rhythmic, and real. With hits like 007 Shantytown and Israelites, he broke through international barriers, topping charts in the UK and making reggae a global movement. This is the untold story of a man who built a bridge between Jamaica and the world and left a sound that would echo forever. Desmond Adolphus Dekker is later known to the world as Desmond. Dekker was born on July 16, 1941, in St. Andrew, Jamaica. He grew up in a modest home, surrounded by the rhythms of daily life, church choirs, street sounds, and the echo of local mento and ska. From a young age, Desmond's voice stood out, smooth, soulful, and powerful. After finishing school, Desmond worked as a welder in Kingston, the same trade as another young man who would soon change Jamaican music forever, Bob Marley. But while Bob was still searching for his breakthrough, Desmond was about to find his path. One day, a coworker introduced him to producer Leslie Kong, owner of the Beverly's record label, the same man who would later discover Jimmy Cliff and Toots and the Maytals. Kong heard Desmond sing and was blown away. The voice was pure, authentic, and uniquely Jamaican. He immediately offered him a chance to record. His debut single, Honor Your Mother and Father, was a local hit, blending moral storytelling with the irresistible pulse of ska. It marked the beginning of a golden partnership between Dekker and Kong. With each release, Dekker's confidence grew. His lyrics spoke to the struggles and spirit of Jamaica's working class. His voice became the sound of resilience. Desmond wasn't just making music, he was capturing a nation's heartbeat. His songs celebrated morality, hard work, and hope, all while making people dance. By the mid-1960s, Desmond Dekker was one of Jamaica's brightest stars. But his story was just beginning. The world was about to hear the sound of Jamaica loud and clear. By 1966, Desmond Dekker had become one of the most influential voices in Jamaica. But what came next would change not only his life, but the entire course of Jamaican music. In 1967, Dekker released a song that captured the struggles of Kingston's ghetto youth, 007 Shantytown, inspired by the rise of rude boy culture and the James Bond craze sweeping the world. Desmond's song was raw, powerful, and instantly relatable. 7 became a massive hit not only in Jamaica but across the United Kingdom. For the first time, the world was hearing the sound of ska and rocksteady, and they loved it. The song spoke to rebellion and survival, the voice of the underdog. British mods and skinheads adopted it as an anthem, bringing Jamaican culture deep into British youth scenes. Desmond was suddenly an international star. He began touring Britain, performing for crowds who sang every lyric with passion. Jamaica's first global ambassador of music had arrived. Then, in 1968, came the song that made him immortal, Israelites, a song born from hardship, faith, and the universal struggle to make ends meet. Desmond said the lyrics came from his own experiences watching working class Jamaicans trying to survive. With lines like "Get up in the morning, slaving for bread, sir," he gave a voice to millions. The track didn't just top the Jamaican charts, it exploded worldwide. In 1969, Israelites hit #1 in the UK and entered the top 10 in the United States, the first Jamaican song ever to do so. It was a cultural earthquake. Suddenly, reggae and ska weren't just island sounds, they were global. With Israelites, Desmond Dekker opened the door for every Jamaican. Artists that followed, from Jimmy Cliff and Bob Marley to Shaggy and Sean Paul. He was more than a hit maker, he was a movement. A proud Jamaican who showed that music born from struggle could conquer the world. But success came with its challenges. Fame brought pressure, and the music scene was about to change again. As the 1970s dawned, a new sound began rising from the heart of Jamaica, slower, deeper, and filled with spiritual fire. Reggae was born, and Desmond Dekker stood at the crossroads of change. Desmond, already a global name thanks to Israelites, faced a challenge. Ska and rocksteady were fading, and the world's ears were turning toward reggae. But Desmond wasn't one to be left behind. He evolved his sound, blending his sharp, rocksteady rhythms with reggae's heartbeat. In 1970, he released You Can Get It If You Really Want, written by Jimmy Cliff. The song was an anthem of hope and resilience, a message that if you work hard and believe, anything is possible. The track climbed charts in the UK and Jamaica, proving that Dekker wasn't just a relic of the ska era, he was a survivor, a true artist who could adapt and inspire. Desmond's powerful voice, both soulful and defiant, became a bridge between generations. Young reggae fans respected him. Older ska lovers still adored him. He followed with more hits like It Mac, Pygmy Gal, and Sing a Little Song, each showing his versatility and command of Jamaica's musical pulse. Even as reggae became dominated by roots themes and Rastafarian messages, Dekker maintained his own voice, storytelling, community, and culture. While names like Marley, Tosh, and Cliff began shaping the next phase of reggae, Desmond was proud. He had opened the doors that made their success possible. In many ways, Dekker was the unsung hero, the man who showed the world that Jamaican music could be universal. Even as the years rolled on, his live shows remained electric. Fans across Europe and the Caribbean still packed stadiums to hear that unforgettable voice. His music never stopped evolving, and while trends came and went, Desmond Dekker's message, faith, struggle, and triumph never lost its truth. As reggae matured through the 1980s and 1990s, Desmond Dekker's role shifted from hitmaker to living legend, but the road ahead was far from easy. Fame had brought him glory, but also pressure. Financial struggles, record label battles, and changing music trends tested his spirit. As dancehall artists like Shabba Ranks and Beanie Man rose, the older generation faced fading radio play. But in the UK, ska's second wave was reborn, and Desmond Dekker was at the center of it. His old hits found new life in ska punk movements, inspiring bands like The Specials, Madness, and No Doubt. Younger audiences discovered the man who started it all. Dekker became a bridge between generations. Once again, his concerts filled with fans of all ages singing every word. Though the fame wasn't as overwhelming as in the 60s, the love was pure. He toured tirelessly across Europe, always performing like it was his last show. His lyrics, rooted in struggle and pride, resonated across continents. African audiences embraced him as a voice of unity and strength. But behind the smile, Dekker faced quiet battles. Health concerns and financial instability haunted his later years. Yet, even through hardship, he remained humble, never bitter, never broken. He once said, in May 2006, the reggae world lost one of its brightest lights. Desmond Dekker passed away at his home in London at age 64. His death marked the end of an era, but his influence never faded. From Kingston's trench town to London's stages, Desmond Dekker carried the soul of Jamaica to the world. Every reggae artist who followed walked through the door he opened. He proved that music, no matter how small the island, no matter how humble the man, could conquer the world. Desmond Dekker didn't just sing about struggle, he turned it into rhythm. He didn't just sing about faith, he lived it. In the years after his passing, Desmond Dekker's voice continued to echo across time in every ska beat, every reggae rhythm, every message of hope that flowed through the music of the islands. Before Marley, before reggae became a global brand, there was Desmond Dekker. He carried the torch through the darkness, proving that Jamaican music could move the world. In the heart of Kingston today, young artists still study his melodies, blending ska's rhythm with reggae's message, chasing that same balance Dekker perfected decades ago. Across the UK, his records still spin in pubs, ska festivals, and collectors' circles, each vinyl crackle a reminder of where reggae's global journey began. His influence traveled beyond reggae, from R&B and pop to Afrobeat and ska punk. His DNA is woven into global sound. Every festival, every rhythm, every crowd swaying to a syncopated beat carries a piece of Desmond Dekker's legacy. For every new generation that moves to reggae's pulse, his story lives on. His message was simple: believe, push, and never stop. That message became the heartbeat of a nation. Desmond Dekker wasn't just a singer, he was a storyteller, a trailblazer, and a voice for the working class who turned struggle into sound. Decades later, millions still know every word, and that's the magic. Even when he's gone, his music still speaks. Desmond Dekker may have left this world, but his rhythm remains in every drumbeat, every lyric, every soul touched by reggae. He was the first to show the world what Jamaica could sound like, and for that the world will never forget Desmond Dekker.